drugs land the troubled actor in prison, and he reaches out to a psychiatrist for help.
Jonathan Majors was arrested over the weekend here in New York, is charged with multiple counts of assault and harassment of an unnamed woman.
On screen, they've saved the universe from destruction, but off-screen, some of Marvel's biggest stars have faced their own epic battles, not with Thanos, but with the law which landed them in jail. Robert Downey Jr., the face of the MCU and a Hollywood icon, wasn't always the picture of success we know today. Behind the trademark smirk and witty one-liners lies a story of addiction, multiple arrests, and ultimately, one of Hollywood's greatest comebacks. Downey's descent began in 1996 when police pulled him over on California's Pacific Coast Highway. What started as a routine traffic stop turned into serious charges when officers discovered cocaine, heroin, and a .357 Magnum in his car. Despite getting off with probation and community service, Downey hit rock bottom just weeks later. In a drug-fueled state, he wandered into a neighbor's house and fell asleep in their child's bed, an incident that earned him more probation and mandatory rehab. But the story was far from over. By 1997, Downey's missed drug tests and skipped rehab sessions landed him a 113-day stay behind bars. His continued struggles with sobriety eventually resulted in a 3-year sentence in California State Prison in 1999. There, the Hollywood star found himself working in the prison kitchen for pennies an hour, known to fellow inmates as Mo Downey. In Downey's own words, this period was like having a shotgun in my mouth with my finger on the trigger. It wasn't until 2003, after several more arrests and rock-bottom moments, that he finally committed to sobriety. His redemption story caught the eye of director Jon Favreau, who saw parallels between Downey's personal journey and Tony Stark's transformation, from weapons dealer to superhero. This insight led to the casting that would change superhero cinema forever. Downey's raw, authentic portrayal of Tony Stark in 2008's Iron Man launched the Marvel Cinematic Universe into the stratosphere. Today, he stands as living proof that second chances can lead to extraordinary comebacks, and now he is returning to the MCU as the villainous Doctor Doom, making his story with the franchise may not be over just yet. Josh Brolin, known to Marvel fans as the menacing Thanos and the time-traveling Cable in Deadpool 2, has had real-life encounters with the law that have added unexpected chapters to his story. It all began on December 20th, 2004, just 4 months after marrying actress Diane Lane. A heated argument between the couple escalated, leading Lane to call the police and report that Brolin had hit her. This resulted in his arrest for misdemeanor, domestic battery. Although charges were later dropped when Lane decided not to pursue the case, Brolin posted $20,000 bail to secure his release. The actor's next brush with the law came on July 12, 2008, at the Stray Cat Bar in Shreveport, Louisiana. What started as a celebration for the film W ended in chaos when Brolin, actor Jeffrey Wright, and 5 crew members were arrested following a bar altercation. Though Brolin later described the experience as maddening, prosecutors ultimately dropped all charges. New Year's Day 2013 marked Brolin's final arrest in Santa Monica, California for public intoxication. This incident proved transformative, becoming the catalyst for his journey to sobriety. In interviews, Brolin has been candid about this period serving as his wake-up call, leading to his decision to embrace an alcohol-free lifestyle. Today, Brolin's story stands as a testament to personal transformation. While his portrayal of Thanos may have snapped away half the universe in real life, he's managed to snap away his past struggles, focusing on his craft and family while maintaining his sobriety. Jonathan Majors, cast as the MCU's next major villain Kang the Conqueror, saw his rising star dramatically fall in 2023. After his acclaimed debut in Loki as He Who Remains and his appearance in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, Majors was positioned to be the cornerstone of Marvel's future phases. His powerful performance in Creed III seemed to confirm his trajectory toward Hollywood superstardom. However, everything changed on March 25, 2023, when Majors was arrested in New York City. The charges included assault, strangulation, and harassment following an alleged altercation with his girlfriend. According to the NYPD, they responded to a 911 call from the victim, who reported being assaulted and was later treated at a hospital for minor injuries to her head and neck. The consequences were swift and severe. Majors was dropped by his management company and PR representation, removed from U.S. Army recruitment campaigns, and lost his role in several upcoming projects, including The Man in My Basement. On December 18, 2023, after a trial that began on November 29th, Majors was found guilty of reckless assault in the third degree and harassment. Following the verdict, Marvel cut ties with the actor, leading to a significant shift in their plans for the MCU. Originally, Major's character, Kang, was supposed to play a crucial role in the upcoming phases of the MCU. However, Marvel decided to pivot in a different direction, opting to replace the villain entirely. The upcoming Avengers 5, initially titled Avengers: Kang Dynasty, was renamed Avengers: Doomsday, with Robert Downey Jr. returning as Dr. Doom. Despite being sentenced to 52 weeks in a domestic violence intervention program and probation in April 2024, by November 2024, the charges against Majors were dropped. However, the legal resolution had a significant impact on his career, with the MCU moving forward without him. Terrence Howard, who originated the role of James Rhodes in 2008's Iron Man before Don Cheadle took over the part, has faced multiple legal issues throughout his career that have often overshadowed his professional achievements. His first notable encounter with law enforcement came in 2000 aboard a Continental Airlines flight from Toronto to Cleveland. Howard was arrested after an altercation with a flight attendant, whom he allegedly grabbed by the wrist during a dispute over returning to his seat. While Howard maintained he was attempting to take his daughter to the bathroom, he was arrested upon landing. The charges were later dropped due to jurisdictional issues. In 2001, Howard faced more serious charges following an incident with his estranged wife, Lori McComas. After forcing entry into her home following a phone argument, Howard was charged with simple assault, harassment, stalking, and making terroristic threats. He later pleaded guilty to disorderly conduct in 2002. By 2005, Howard found himself in legal trouble again after an altercation at a Philadelphia diner. Following a dispute over seating arrangements, he was charged with assault and harassment after allegedly striking two patrons. Howard claimed self-defense and ultimately pleaded guilty to disorderly conduct. In 2011, his then-wife Michelle Gent obtained a restraining order against him, citing allegations of physical abuse. By this time, Howard had already departed from the MCU following Iron Man, with reports indicating the split occurred primarily due to salary negotiations for the sequel. These incidents paint a complex picture of an actor whose promising career, including his brief tenure in the MCU, has been repeatedly complicated by legal troubles and allegations of violence. Wesley Snipes, Blade. Wesley Snipes dominated the late 90s and early 2000s with his vampire hunting heroics, starring as Eric Brooks, aka Blade, in the Blade trilogy. Fans were thrilled when he returned as Blade in Deadpool and Wolverine. But beyond the silver screen, Snipes faced a battle of his own with the law. In 2008, he was sentenced to 3 years in prison for failing to file tax returns, owing $2.7 million from 1999 to 2001. Dubbed by Forbes as the highest-profile criminal tax target in years, Snipes fought the ruling, but his appeal was denied. In 2010, he began serving his sentence, and after his release in 2013, he spent 4 more months under house arrest. The trouble didn't end there. The IRS later discovered that he had neglected taxes between 2001 and 2006, accumulating a staggering $23.5 million debt. In 2018, Snipes tried to negotiate by offering just 4% of the sum, but the court ruled that he owed the entire amount. This chapter of his life remains a cautionary tale. Mickey Rourke as Whiplash in Iron Man 2. The Iron Man franchise seems to have an uncanny link to legal troubles. Mickey Rourke, known for playing the supervillain Whiplash, had his first brush with the law in 1994 when he was charged with spousal battery after allegedly slapping and kicking his then-wife, Kare Otis. Despite the serious allegations, charges were later dropped, and the couple briefly reconciled before their marriage ended in 1998. Fast forward to November 2007, Rourke found himself in trouble again, this time for a DUI in Miami Beach. Around 4 a.m., police spotted him weaving between lanes on his Vespa. Officers described him as having bloodshot, watery eyes, slurred speech, and a strong odor of alcohol. Rourke's off-screen escapades, much like his on-screen characters, add an intriguing, albeit controversial layer to his persona. Nick Nolte, who portrayed Dr. David Banner, the main antagonist in Ang Lee's 2003 Hulk, has long been known for his troubled off-screen persona. His legal troubles began in 1961 when he was arrested for selling counterfeit draft cards, a crime that initially carried a staggering 45-year sentence and a $75,000 fine, both of which were eventually suspended. Decades later, in 2002, Nolte made headlines again after being arrested for drunk driving in Malibu. Tests revealed he was under the influence of GHB, and Nolte later pleaded no contest to DUI charges. He received 3 years probation and was required to undergo drug and alcohol counseling with random testing. Nolte's struggles with substance abuse were no secret. In 2005, he admitted to battling these demons for most of his life. After a relapse in the late 90s, he found sobriety again post-2002 and later claimed to have stayed relatively clean ever since. Vinnie Jones, juggernaut on and off the screen. Known for his tough guy roles, Vinnie Jones brought the unstoppable juggernaut to life in X-Men: The Last Stand, but his off-screen antics have been just as dramatic. In 1998, Jones was convicted of assault and criminal damage after a heated altercation with a neighbor. That wasn't the end of his legal troubles. In December 2003, Jones made headlines again for an air rage incident. While intoxicated, he slapped a fellow passenger and threatened the cabin crew. This led to a fine of £1,100, 80 hours of community service, and the revocation of his firearms license. Fast forward to 2008, Jones found himself in another scuffle, this time at a South Dakota bar. After being hit with a beer glass and suffering facial injuries, he was charged with assault, adding yet another chapter to his turbulent story. Woody Harrelson, best known to Marvel fans as Carnage in Venom, Let There Be Carnage, has had his fair share of run-ins with the law. His first high-profile arrest came in 1996 in Lee County, Kentucky. Harrelson, accompanied by his attorney and a CNN crew, planted 4 hemp seeds to challenge laws that failed to distinguish between industrial, hemp and marijuana. His bold move led to an arrest for cultivating marijuana, but a jury acquitted him in just 25 minutes. Harrelson's rebellious streak didn't end there. At 21, he was arrested for disturbing the peace after dancing in the middle of a busy street and attempting to flee from police. Then, in 2002, he was involved in a bizarre London taxi incident. After reportedly breaking the vehicle's ashtray and lock, Harrelson jumped out, hailed another cab, and sped off. Police caught up with him, and after causing £300 in damages, he spent a night in jail. The case was later dismissed when he compensated the driver £550, a wild episode that inspired his film Lost in London. In 2008, Harrelson faced a lawsuit from a TMZ photographer over a 2006 nightclub altercation. While no criminal charges were filed, the legal drama added yet another chapter to his colorful past. Kelsey Grammar, who portrayed Beast in The Marvels, has faced many personal struggles and legal battles. His troubles began in July 1987 when he was arrested for driving under the influence of alcohol and drugs without a license. Just a year later, Grammar faced another arrest, this time for cocaine possession. After missing 2 court hearings, he was sentenced to rehab, but his troubles escalated when he violated probation, leading to 30 days in jail, 10 days of highway cleanup, and 90 days of house arrest. The troubles continued in 1996 when Grammar was arrested for DUI in Van Nuys, California, resulting in a 14-day jail sentence. Additionally, his failure to meet parole requirements for his earlier charges led to further penalties, including community service. Grammar's personal life has also been fraught with controversy, including a defamation lawsuit from an ex-girlfriend and a scandal involving a stolen videotape. Despite these setbacks, Grammar's journey has been a testament to overcoming personal and professional challenges. Molly Fitzgerald. You may not recognize her name, but Molly Fitzgerald, who played a small role as Stark-Girl in Captain America, the First Avenger, has one of the most shocking arrest stories among Marvel actors. On December 20th, 2019, her mother, Patricia Fitzgerald, was found dead with multiple stab wounds. Molly was arrested on December 31st, 2019, and charged with second-degree murder. She claimed self-defense, stating that her mother had lunged at her with a knife, forcing her to retaliate. However, the autopsy revealed defensive wounds on Patricia, suggesting a different story. Adding to the controversy, Molly announced her intention to represent herself in court. Her case remains one of the most unsettling and controversial incidents involving a Marvel actor.